Bearscape. Oh my god, bro. It's like escape or like a resort for bears, for gay bears. They build a refuge with their bare hands. Oh my god. They'll build a refuge with their bare hands. It's so bad that it's kind of good. If y'all get this printed, we might get rid of gay marriage again. Oh shit. Totally fine as long as these classes get reprinted in the same time. The Crusade. Oh, why creatures get +1/+1? Is this shit real? Oh my god. That's hilarious. Jihad. So glad I stopped playing this stupid game years ago. Oh yeah. Well, 1 week till Pride Month and some more Magic the Gathering cards that Republicans will lose their minds over. If you already know that half your audience is not gonna like it, why put it out there? Like Republicans buy Magic the Gathering cards too, but apparently you don't want that. You see, like the antagonism that is like inherent with the intention. Maybe it's not inherent, but it comes together. Like as soon as you have the idea, you know who's not gonna like this. Do gay people even like this shit for real? I mean, if you're corny as fuck, if you're super corny. I hate telling others that I'm gay because they'll assume I'm one of these people. Which other ones are gay? I guess this one. Well, 2 women are hugging, that's gay? I don't think that's very gay. Holding, like one is helping the other one stand up, that's gay? That's not gay. And these ones, they got the rainbow colors, that's not gay, bro. And you have to be able to see the difference between this and this, right? Like, come on, it's not the same. And look, if you want to make the game super gay, right, you can make all the cards gay, but you are gonna lose a part of the audience. What every complainer in the comments fails to realize is that if a product doesn't sell, companies won't make that product. You don't have to buy them. If this upsets you, you can boycott them. Everything a for-profit company does is for profit, shareholder value. Yes, it's true. Just fucking vote with your wallet. Although the cards come in packages and you don't know which one you're gonna get, so like you will have to like quit the game entirely. And I can see that if somebody has been a fan for like decades, they don't want to move to another game. They are the OG fans and they don't want to give up their hobby to newcomers. Game targeted at kids and teens subtly includes fetish content. Somehow people are supposed to not be upset about this. It's just cringe. It's not because it's gay, it's because it's cringe. Like, do you imagine them like doing an image that was the opposite and it was just like a bunch of women naked taking a bath, their titties out? Will you ever see that? Will they ever do that? No, they wouldn't. So it's a question of inequality. It is a question of like just what most people don't like looking at fucking like fat guys, even if like their arms and chest are muscular or whatever. It's just how P felt making this post. The organic soy milk. I prefer this one, Invoke Prejudice, bro, with the fucking very KKK looking hood. That's the shit, I think. You see, like this is swinging, like the extreme other direction, and it's cringe. But at least we know it's cringe. We think it's funny. We think it's ridiculous. And we think that it shouldn't be in the game. You can do like gay content without being cringe. You can do straight straight content and it's cringe too. So it's just a question of taste. Nice try, bro. I already drew the gay. Oh shit. Oh shit. I like the implication here that being gay is itself a fetish. It's pretty revealing about the author of this post. A way to tell on yourself. Being gay is not a fetish. The fetish is specifically bears. You know what I mean? Let's say there's a card. It's a card, and it's the same card. It's just women in a, like in a fucking, thermal waters, whatever. It'd be a thing if it's just that. But if it's specifically like a bunch of like big beautiful women, then yeah, now you're getting into into fetish territory. Being gay is not a fetish; it's a sexual orientation. It's a different thing. Yeah, man. I wonder why LGBT people feel the need to virtual signal and annoy conservatives. I don't agree with this post over here or this one over here, but I do agree with this this one, in the sense of you don't see the opposite. I think you don't see the opposite, in which you have someone conservative being like, I'm gonna put like two straight people in this story to annoy the LGBTQ. It's not a thing. You don't see like, oh, like, yeah, these two canonically gay characters, we're gonna turn them straight. Fuck these guys on the other side. You don't see that. I'm fine with gay card and Magic. I just hate the people who only want it because they want to spite some fictional enemy that they seem to hate. Like most right-leaning Magic players don't care about the card art being gay. We won't just buy it if we don't like the card, if we don't like that card. But we do hate the people who make everything some political fight, when I just want to sit down and play cards with people. A lot of these comments show why Pride Month needs to exist. It's 2026. People being LGBTQ plus does not harm you or others. It's not about harm, it's just about like the card being cringe. I don't even think that is about the card being gay. You know, like the previous one with the, like with the two dudes about to kiss. It's not cringe, but this one, it's a little corny. Even the, even this line, right? It's like, it's funny because it's corny, but it probably doesn't match what people originally, back when people started playing this game when they were kids or whatever. This was not the game. This was not the tone. Probably there were no like joke cards, or maybe there were, but not like specifically like fucking. The problem is that like at this point I don't think that it's it's a problem with gayness at all. It's a question that like the LGBTQ plus movement has been like strongly associated with with the left, which it's not completely the case. Like there's a bunch of queer people that are conservative, but for the most part you see it on that other side. So it's I think that the reaction is more caused by the politics of it, right? By like the fact that like now this is like the other side, which is sort of like the last thing you actually need. There was a time in which like gay people were like becoming more and more normalized, and less people like had a problem with it. That is the path towards true, like, not like equality, because the equality has been there for a long time, but like per capita, so to speak. But like not lack of divisiveness, but like to associate your like an entire group of people, entire sexual orientation with like, we are from this other party, or that party being like, we are the party of these people. Well, the people that are against that party for other reasons now are gonna be against this group because they are part of the party, not because they dislike the group by itself. The original poster, 1 week till Pride Month and some more gay Magic the Gathering cards that Republicans will lose their minds over. You see, so like, it's not the fact that it's gay, it's the fact that it's gay and anti-Republican, that is a fuck you to the right. And even if you're like, well, it's not made to be a fuck you to the right, well, like, we just like the card, we just put it out, and people on the right are not gonna like it. Number one, most Republicans don't have a problem with queer people whatsoever, so that's just a fucking fallacy. But the fact that you're like framing it like that, like you're just like, well, 1 week till Pride Month, some new gay cards coming to Magic the Gathering, people will be like, okay, there's gotta be people that don't like it. But you framing it as like a fucking political battle, that is the problem. I like hot girls with big boobs, but I don't need artwork like this on Magic cards to enjoy the game. Wizards of the Coast will never put art like that on a card anyway. That is a double standard. Some fetishists are okay, some are not. Why? I'm seriously asking, not a rhetorical question. You see, and this guy's right. Will they make a car that was just like a bunch of like blonde girls with big boobs, or redheads, or whatever the hell like this specific guy is into? No, like, is there a muscle mommy, fucking thermal waters car? No, there isn't. I don't know, but I'm 100% sure there isn't. For a straight man, like, that's toxic. But this, it's completely fine. Fan service towards straight men, they will call that shit toxic. They're like, oh, we need to be more inclusive, we need to be more sensitive. So it's a double standard. It's not a question of the card just being gay by itself. Saying that is the problem is just simplifying the whole topic because you just wanna, or because you don't fucking understand it. They are agenda-based retards. It shows how little they actually care about Magic the Gathering or other IPs. Yeah, if you love Magic the Gathering, you want Magic the Gathering to be loved by everyone, right? By the most, by the biggest amount of people that you can. You want it to become even more popular and flourish and become more successful, and like be more popular in countries where barely anybody plays. That's what you will want, and for that you need to make it either like universal or targeted towards the demographic that will be more interested into it, which to be honest is mostly straight men. Yeah, there are girls, yes, there are queer guys too, but if I had to bet on it, I'll say it's mostly just straight dudes. And not only are you not pandering towards them, but you're actually doing the opposite. Doesn't seem like a very good strategy money wise, popularity of the game wise. It's a go woke, go broke type shit. If you really want this to flourish. And by the way, maybe this person doesn't want that. Maybe the guy that made the post, this guy, maybe he just wants only people from the left to play to play this game. He doesn't want Muslims to play his game. He doesn't want Chinese people to play this game. Maybe. And I say his game because I'm assuming that the guy works as a designer for the thing, for cards or whatever. Nah, we don't give that much of a fuck. Yeah, honestly, it's not gonna make them lose their minds. It's just gonna make them cringe. Maybe write a tweet. Then I see this, and I'm very glad I decided against fantasy card games. Yeah, like it's obviously not gonna get you more customers of people that find this cringy. My dad loved this game since college. I'm glad he passed before he had to see this shit. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a little bit much. I mean, maybe his dad will really fucking hate it. That's crazy, bro. And you see what I mean? Like, it's literally like some shit that your dad played. Magic the Gathering was released in 1993. It's not that old. I mean, it is enough time for somebody to be a dad, though, right? Like if your dad started when he was like in college or something like that, and you're like 18 or something, or less, then yeah, it's enough time for 2 generations. Magic the Gathering, it's just like Dungeons and Dragons. It's considered to be like a family-friendly game. I don't know now, but originally, mostly kids will be playing this, or like teenagers. So is this appropriate for kids? I don't think so. I wouldn't think so if it was like a bunch of women with their titties out either, and not because of the gayness, but because of like the nakedness, right? Yeah, like their genitals are covered, but you know exactly what I mean, right? If this was like a straight couple, and they're like over here like fucking, and this guy's blushing as fuck, right? And there's like the girl is leaning on the guy blushing and shit. Like it's a little cringy that you're putting that on a game that is supposed to be family friendly. Gays are biologically dysfunctional and essentially useless to us. What the fuck is this? This is grandpa. Grandpa is talking to the studio over here. Let's see. There's something deeply wrong with you, when you're not even able to be attracted to the opposite sex for procreation purposes. Yo, chill the fuck out, bro. The definition of degenerate. Literally degenerating the species with their insane sexual behaviors. This is why people naturally make fun of gayness and gay people, because they are so stupid and degenerate and lack any biological agency within their own species. This is also why Satanists love F-words, since Satanists want to see humans other than themselves kinda suffer and lose all agency, and as a species in general. Okay, bro, too much. This guy's like this. Bro's like this. Bro's literally like this. Oh my god. Dude, I'm gay as fuck, but like, chill. This is a kid's game. Exactly. It's a bit much. It's not like crazy much. It's a bit much. Like if you walk into the room and your son, like your little kids, your son and daughter, your 5-year-olds are like watching something on the TV, and it's this, you're like, yo, what are we watching here? As a man who has many friends that are fat and hairy, their humanity is not your fetish. Fat, hairy guys are objectified and sexualized more than any other minority. I don't know about that, but okay. Fat and hairy men should not be having sex on trading cards that can be sold to children. I mean, I don't think I'm not sure that they are having sex, but they are doing some sexual contact over here, definitely. To be fair, Magic the Gathering and the people that like that trash are always gay. No, I mean maybe lately, I don't know. You see, like this is very, this is a pretty nice one, right? Yeah, and obviously if you're like fucking, like ultra conservative, like anti-gay, then you're gonna be like degeneracy. But if not, like this is nice. But this, bro, this is a little bit much. This is the difference, by the way. Like something like this can be fan service for for gay men, for women, the straight women, for people that are into furries, right? This can be fan service for all of that. There's a giant difference in the scene depicted. This is very fucking different. If the image was just, instead of like a fucking white lion humanoid guy, if instead of that it was just like a guy that is like very buff arms, and chest, and then like he has a like a big belly, and he's hairy as fuck, and maybe even balding a little, has a beard, right? If that was it, he has the same axe, everything the same, nobody will have a problem with it. But you can see how, like, if you put, like, if you, instead of a bunch of bears, it's like Bearscape, and you have and you have like instead a bunch of furries over here, right? A bunch of like human, animal humanoids, and two of them look like they're about to kiss, and one of them is blushing, and they're naked, and the skins are touching. You will see how that, like this, for most people probably doesn't register as like, oh, this is a furry card, right? But this is, it will be a furry card if it was like this. Over here he's just badass that just so happened to be a furry. They're over here about to kiss and shit, and they're naked. Very different thing. You see, this is the real Bearscape, right? Over here, bear just having the best food of his fucking life. And by the way, just so you understand why some people wouldn't like this, it's because this is Magic the Gathering now, 2022. This is Magic the Gathering back then. So you see, it's also like taking a project that has a certain tone and like changing it for another thing. It will be like if you're watching Clint Eastwood movies and it's just like a series or something, and eventually it becomes gay. It doesn't fit the thing. And to be fair, like this is again like, this is supposed to be like a secret layer or whatever. But like, it's not like it's a video game or something like that. It's a card that you can use. Call it a layer if you want, but it's just a card that you can use. It's not like in a video game like, oh, somebody bought this secret gay base that they can use, right? Because like, if you want to have like a base that you come back to in the video game and it looks like this, have no problem with it. I don't think it's cringe. It's just, you're just enjoying your game and having your plays however you like it. This is what people see basically, or maybe this. this is the change that people see basically. I don't personally have a problem with it, but like definitely this guy's doing too much. In fact, like this guy thinks he's doing too much. He's like, yo, are you gonna? David Levitt shirt, the 2000 Bearscape reprint from Wizards of the Coast of Pride Across the Multiverse drop, featuring by Ricardo Vesa of Hairy Man and a Close Hog, with flavor text putting on bare hands. Streamer as Mongol joked about banning gay marriage over it, while critics call it inappropriate for the teen-rated game. It's a teen-rated game. It's a kids rated game, honestly. Like sure, there's like gonna be like more darker aspects of it, but I don't think that most people will have any problem with it. So I mean, it's a player base averaging 30 to 40 years old. Here's the thing, the player base might be averaging 30 to 40 years old, but eventually they'll have kids, or they already have, and they share the game with their kids. They're probably not gonna achieve making most of their kids Magic the Gathering players, because video games are just more entertaining, like not entertaining, it's just more stimulating, right? What's more likely to stimulate their brain and retain their attention? This or this?
And I'm here to save you again.
The very fabric
Like, this is obviously just gonna...
How would you feel about
This experience is obviously gonna one-shot the Magic the Gathering play in every time.